If you do not understand the crypto narrative and how they're moving the whole industry, you will have a very tough job at selling your products and services just because you're going to go against the stream. For the last few weeks, tokenization has been on all news and on all earth with the BlackRock moves in the tokenization space and with the real estate. And I wanted to get some clarity to understand what is tokenization, why that matters, and how we as a salespeople can better understand the space, how actionable it is right now, what are the short-term benefits and what are the long-term benefits of the whole tokenization. For these purposes, I connected with one of my friends, Oleg from BinaryX, he's CEO there, and they have been tokenizing real estate worldwide, and we got a very good chat and conversation about tokenization in the United States, in the whole world. What does this mean right now? And basically, he is a live Wikipedia for all of you guys to better understand what is tokenization, what kind of challenges companies in tokenization space have, and what they need. How can you help them solve those challenges? What is missing? What are the missing parts? Because when there is a need, when there is a missing part, when there is a pain, you guys can go and help them with your products, with your services. So please enjoy this episode and see you in the next one. Bye bye. Okay, welcome to the show, Oleg. Very nice to have you here with us. Can you please tell us more about you and tokenization?
Yeah, hi Nick, and thank you so much for an invitation. Today, I will tell you a little bit more about myself and company, and we are doing the tokenization, and we making the revolution in real estate niche and bringing the really great opportunities for investors and the real estate owners to get the new achievements in their careers.
That's very interesting. So if you're like right now, you're very deep into industry. Can you tell us like your top 3 actionable takeaways or something very interesting that you know about tokenization, something that is not visible from the outside, but really makes sense for us right now and for the future?
Okay. The first of all, I would like to tell you what is the benefits you will get if you will start the tokenization journey. And then the second one is why the tokenization market will be about $16 trillion in 5-7 years. And the last one, but not least, it's how and when you can start working in that niche right now, because this is a really huge growing niche that will bring you a lot of money. And I will tell you a little bit more about how to start a business there.
Alrighty. Can you do like a short recap on each point?
Yeah, of course, for sure. Which point from start? Okay, I will explain. I'm not sure that it's possible to explain tokenization in a few simple words, but I will try. I will try to do this. So, first of all, what is tokenization and how tokenization works? Tokenization is the conversion of the assets ownership from the regular form to the digital form. For example, when you owning some asset in the real world, you can own this on the blockchain too. So that meaning your ownership going on the blockchain, and that will give you a lot of benefits, because first of all, you will be able to transfer your ownership really fast in a few seconds from one person to another person. And this increase and boost economic speed. So currently, this is the future for the different type of the assets. We, with BinaryX, doing real estate tokenization, and that helping to us to make the real estate more liquid and allow to users sell that real estate faster.
Okay, I understand. And from your perspective, how does the tokenization reshape the world right now in terms of financial markets, in the real estate? How does it change the investor relationships with projects, with people, with individuals, with companies?
First of all, in my opinion, will be less intermediaries when you're trying to transfer your ownership from one person to another person, because currently, if to understand what Bitcoin and Ethereum has been done, they make the possible, and blockchain. What doing blockchain? Blockchain doing the settlement of the transactions. So in this case, we don't need to prove the some asset is the actual asset, and that asset is already saved on the blockchain. The same thing is working for tokenization. If we will see that some assets is tokenized, we don't need to prove that they are tokenized and then there is some exact asset. So in this case, we saving the time and saving the money by removing the intermediaries such as notaries and the legal companies if we would like to sell our asset or transfer it to somebody else.
Okay, so it's basically, if I own a token, then my token is the main thing. And then if I transfer this token to anyone else, this means that all rights that were tied to this token for any kind of asset, they're basically the person that got the token from me, they're immediately the owner of that asset and of that
Absolutely.
everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can imagine how much time you can save. For example, if you sell the property at least one time in your life, it takes from few days to few months. But right now you will be able to do it in a few seconds, just sending the tokens to another person. And that's
Does
all.
it mean, yeah? Does it mean that if I want to sell my apartment or my house and it's in form of it's tokenized, it's fully tokenized, do I have like one token for one house, or I can have like 100 tokens or 1,000 tokens, or it doesn't matter?
Yeah, actually, it depends on how you plan to make the tokenization. Because tokenization, one of the best features of the tokenization is the fractional ownership, and tokenization brings the possibility to you to divide your asset on the tokens on the small portions and sell it to people. And in this case, if you will have the big amount of the tokens, so for example, you have a house and the house is divided for 1,000 token. If you sell 500 token to your friend, then it means that your friend will be owner of 50% of the house what you are living, where you living or what you are selling. So that is a really great opportunity. But if there is just an option and you don't need to divide your house for 1,000 tokens, you can left just one token, and that token will anyway represent some asset, and that asset will be able to transfer immediately. So there is the different cases depends on the needs.
Okay, I think that people that are listening to us, the first question or maybe like an objection that rises in their mind is when you do this, like you can tokenize the house, but how, from a legal perspective, how easy it's going to be for you to sell this thing to people that don't understand? Or will there be situations where it's like on paper everything works and it's true, it's everything is like ownership is transferable, everything is clear, but people just don't get it. And when you go somewhere, like how do you prove that this is your house? And what do you say to people? This is like, I got tokens from this guy, and by this contract, like I'm in this house. How does this work in real life?
Okay. First of all, I think we need to understand how we making the tokenization and was our main discovery. Because when we started in 2019 to working on tokenization, we start from the idea to tokenize small and medium enterprises, and we start researching the legal frameworks for it, and that has bring us to the idea to make the tokenization with NFTs, but it doesn't work. Then we try with master and series companies. Then we try with single purchase vehicles and opening the fund in the Europe Union, like a small alternative investment fund, and tokenizing the shares of that fund. But it doesn't work for us because there was no strict connection of the blockchain and the asset. In our current legal framework, what we have found in 2022, this is legal framework based on United States law. And in Wyoming state in 2021, they created a new type of entity, what is called DAO LLC. And the DAO LLC is allowing us to make the tokenization by the right way by creating DAO, what is managed by the smart contract. Because the main difference between the DAO LLC and the regular LLC, that is DAO LLC operational agreement has an address of the smart contract that is managing the relationships between the investors with algorithm. So that brings the investors to the point when they own the token from the smart contract, they become the shareholder of the company, and it's easily to check the address of the smart contract that is connected with some exact entity, legal entity. You can easily check it company in company state registry. I think I say by the right way, but there is like all the companies is transparent, and you can check their operational agreements and articles of organizations. For example, for our case, we use in the Wyoming state, and you can easily go to the Wyoming state government website and check the company what we created for our properties that we are selling.
That it really exists. Okay, but does this work only in US or any other side of the world?
No, actually, it's work in any side of the world, and it's almost globally compliant legal framework. In this case, back into your previous question about how people can be sure that they can sell their properties after that will be tokenized. In this case, I will tell you just one thing. Currently, this is the legal entity, what is based in the United States. And for other jurisdictions, it's just simple transaction between one company, what is located, for example, in the United States, what is owning the asset, and the individual or another company, what is located in another jurisdiction or anyway in the United States. So it's easily to make and perform the transaction because everything right now working on the legal based framework, and we don't invent something new. We just build in our system in the current law.
Okay, I understand. And if let's say I have this American company with DAO LLC and everything's tokenized, and I want to sell something to my friend in France, for example, and can I do this? So I should send the token to him, and then on a legal, the France will also understand that it was like part of the company, or how does it work? Like, what are the real world scenarios? Like the thing that you have seen that the most popular right now, what businesses are using? Because maybe my stuff is just, mind experiment.
Okay. Actually, I can show to you how it works on our platform. I think that will be really useful for you and for your audience, and then everybody from your audience can understand how they can implement this in their business. How do you think?
Okay.
Sounds good. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, okay, great. So we have our platform, and where you can, this is the regular marketplace where you can choose the properties where you would like to invest, and I will show to you an example of the first property and how you can be sure that you own some shares. And this is the properties in Bali right now. We start from Bali, Indonesia, and the most beautiful things, this all transactions and all history of the property is visible because you can see everything on the blockchain, and also you can see the companies, what is managing the property and what is helping to the property to generate the rent and income for the owners. Also, the list of the owners is also on the blockchain because everything is attached to the smart contract, and each property has its own smart contract address. And when you go into the to the blockchain and see that address, you can easily check who is an owner of some amount of the tokens. So regarding this, there is a question how it's really connected with legal entities, and I will make the share of another top right now. One moment.
So basically, your main use case is the tokenized apartment or the tokenized real estate, and then it's connected.
Yeah, so right now we can go on Wyoming State government website, and we can see here we can search here the company what is owning the shares of the LLC, the shares of the what is owning the property actually, and yeah, and this company. Let me know if you see well.
Yeah, I can see it. It's okay.
I will try. Okay, so anyway, I can't to zoom in this, but anyway, you can see the articles of organization of the company what is owning the property. So that bringing to you the possibility to check the address of the smart contract that is reflected in the documents of the company, and that means the company is connected with the blockchain and with the smart contract, and the smart contract what is issuing the tokens, bringing the ownership to the person who owns the tokens. So in this case, you can make the tokenization of actually almost everything, and you can make the tokenization of the real estate, cars, precious metals, some other commodities, art, and many other things. So it's just your imagination, and if you can imagine something, I think you can do this.
Okay, I understand. So this looks like a very nice experiment or a pilot program, at least, because I've heard that DAO LLC is in 1 or 2 states, and it feels like they're testing the program. The question here is,
I will be honest with you. I read in the history of the Wyoming state, and I saw when they created DAO LLC, we was surprised also, and we thinking, okay, how we can use it? It's something not really understandable. So from that perspective, the Wyoming state is actually the first state in the world who has created the LLC. And currently, LLC is using in any country of the world. Yeah. So currently, they create a new type of entity, and the other states start using the type of entity for themselves. Currently, Florida and Delaware accepting that type of entity, and probably a little bit later, the rest of the states will accept this too. But I think in the future, the rest of the countries will accept that type of organization too, because that will help them to manage their taxes and taxes incomes.
Yeah.
Because this is one of the main revenue streams for any country.
Well, yes, getting taxes there would be easier and everything's going to be clear. So we can expect some movements in that case. But why do you think Wyoming is best in this? Do you know people that are pushing, that were developing the DAO LLC format, or why is that? Why Wyoming?
Why Wyoming? Because this is just almost one state in the world who are able to do this.
Why others can do it?
Currently. Because they don't accept it yet. I already say to you that we start from Wyoming, and during our work, we see how Delaware and the other state, Florida, is accept that type of entity. So right now, when it will be it become available in another states too. So we will decide in which state to register the companies. It's not a problem actually for us, but currently this is almost one. This is one jurisdiction that is really understand good and well how this type of institution works.
And just a follow-up question. So they understand, let's say you have 1,000 tokens.
They develop it actually.
So, but do they understand these 1,000 tokens as 1,000 shares? And then their website, so they just translate from the blockchain language and token language to their own terms that they know, right?
Yeah, absolutely. When you're registering the company, you're just providing the address of the smart contract that is representing the relationships between investors, and that address of the smart contract should have issued some amount of the tokens, and that bringing to you to the idea that those tokens represent the shares of the company.
Okay. Do you think there's enough real-world use cases? Do you know other companies that are doing anything related to DAO LLCs, tokenization? Is the world ready for that right now?
Yeah, actually, we see when we start working on this legal framework, and when we start working on our product, we looking on other company. I will not name this company, but I will tell you this is baked by Y Combinator, and they use a different legal framework for their business. But when we looking on them, and we always researching our competitors. And right now, we understand that it's the new properties that they are listing on their platform. They making the tokenization through the DAO LLC too. So this is the company with the good lawyers who is backed by Y Combinator. So that bringing them to the possibility to make it, and they decide to make that stuff. They have tokenized more than $50 million so in the property. So that really amazing, and we think that will go further.
And it's a real estate mainly, because when I just came
mainly yes, because there is idea why the real estate is for first asset that will be tokenized, because the real estate is the most sustainable asset in the world, and it's really predictable. And if you have a property, it's really simple business process to hire somebody or the management company to make to allow to the property or generate rent for you. So it's really easily. There is no rocket science here. So this is the reason why the real estate is the first asset and first real yield asset on the blockchain that is generating the understandable, predictable yield from the property rent. And when we see the rest of the projects, for example, the stable coins or other type of coins, who is providing the staking mechanisms and giving to you 20% APR, you don't even care, and you don't even understand where from that APR coming from, right? Yeah. So this is the benefits of the property. You actually understand where the APR coming from, and you really understand how everything works.
I understand. Around 1 year ago, when I just came to crypto, I spoke with one guy, and this one guy, he was telling me about basically about the tokenization. And then I remember this picture very well, because we were standing on top of one of the skyscrapers and in Bucharest, and he was showing me like the field, and then he's telling, look at this field, like imagine if we tokenize everything, every tree will be tokenized. Is it a possible real world scenario where you tokenize fields, trees, water, and what it can bring?
Actually, why no? We can easily tokenize the land. So
if you own it, right?
Yeah, of course. We can purchase the land and tokenize it, so it's not a problem. Or we can collect the money from the people who would like to own the land, and that will bring us to the point when we're tokenizing it. I'm not sure that it's possible to tokenize every tree because it's some tricky stuff. Actually, everything is possible in my opinion, but it's a little bit tricky stuff. I need to dive deeper in this topic and understand how everything works, because the trees also can generate their revenue actually from the wood and
Oxygen.
from the oxygen. Yeah, but the oxygen is another topic, and there is a carbon
Credits.
carbon neutralization, and carbon credits can be tokenized
Mhm.
in this case. But I'm not sure that is a fast mechanism and that is what people needs right now. Because in my opinion, the first things what will be tokenized, this is the consumable things.
Okay.
And that what can be consumed and used in the real life for the people.
Consumed, you mean like some small stuff or some big stuff like real estate?
First of all, big stuff, and then it will go to the smaller stuff like cars, art, and etc. But it's just an opinion, and probably everything will go by another way.
Yeah, no, but it's curious. Like it's very hard to predict how it's gonna go when we live in this system that every factor and every action changes the whole system immediately. Like with ChatGPT, for example, it just came.
But right now we see the really great narrative with the real estate tokenization, because the BlackRock started pushing that topic, the many other funds and VCs start pushing that topic too. So we see the really great potential in this.
We have a guy in the blockchain business builders community, and he was telling us that something big in the real estate coming in the next. So like he was talking about this thing that can arise with BlackRock, or he didn't mention what company, but he told us something can happen, and then boom, like 2 months after that, there is BlackRock going in, and with real estate, with all this stuff. I mean, it's moving, but and it's very positive. But even like 6 months ago, everything was very, very negative. Everybody, was like the middle of crypto winter. What are the blockers for the tokenization? What can stop the tokenization? What is the challenge for tokenization right now?
Currently, it's acceptance of the technology and the education for the people. We are from our side trying to make this product really simple for Web2 audience too, but blockers is the topic of the collective investment in the real estate is not something new. But using the blockchain technology, is it something new? So we are doing our product on the blockchain, but in the same case, we need to attract a lot of Web2 audience who will purchase the properties. In this case, we need to adapt our product to this audience, and that brings us to the possibility. I understand that if we will start few years ago, and we try to build a full decentralized project, we was not able to do this. Why? Because there was no such technologies as Magic Link and Web3 Auth that is allowing people to make the authorization and creating the decentralized wallet on the go with their social media or email, for example. There was no ideas how to make acceptance of the fiat currency, but we doing it right now. And that bringing us to the topic when we become a product that is using the blockchain technology on the background, but the regular user even don't understand this. And I think that will bring the mass adoptions. But anyway, we need more education, because people need to understand better how to invest, where to invest, what is blockchain, where's the benefits of it, and how you secure it by blockchain. So there is a lot of stuff and a lot of things what needs to be done. And I think 5-10 years, everybody will use that solution and the tokenization in their lives.
I see you're playing a long-term game.
Absolutely, always.
Yes, because I agree with you that right now, like from perspective, even from infrastructure, the mass adoption is not going to happen in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, just because the systems are not ready. Like even if you look at the blockchains, when there was this meme season a few months ago, like the Ethereum and Bitcoin, they had problems just processing transactions. They were, failing a little bit. So, and it's not even like a billion people that hits the whole blockchain. I mean, it's like if we start improving small things that we can do something, and it's like I feel that you are fighting a very tough battle, because every and then it's against you is like a couple thousand years of history, of human history, that the way how we have been doing things, and then there's like all these people that already have a stake that are intermediaries, and It's I understand that this might be challenging, and I wish that there were
A little
more.
bit.
Yeah,
A little bit.
I wish there was easier job for you to get that, but maybe it's like, when it's water and the water just slowly
Mhm.
dropping on the rock, and then the rock just, it changes the rock over the time. I think there's
Yeah,
going to be that effect. Um,
absolutely.
can you draw us maybe like in 1 minute a amazing picture of the future where you believe in? So like what good tokenization can bring to us. So like let's think about the humans that we're already in
Mhm.
space. We are having our Mars colony. We're doing amazing stuff. How tokenization fits in this world?
Oh, really interesting question. I did not expect this. I will be honest with you. And from that perspective, actually, uh, I can tell you about my dream. It will
Tell
be
me.
my much better.
Yeah.
And I dream and I would like to live longer, and I would like to see other planets. I would like to see other universes.
Hmm.
So that requiring a longer time living, almost unlimited. And I believe in this with. If we will boost our speed of the technologies and acceptance of the technologies and technologies development,
Hmm.
but technologies development cannot be done without economy.
Yeah.
So economy boost is available just if we will accept the tokenization.
Hmm.
So that will bring the possibility to the people save more time by boosting their transaction speed, and that bringing us to this topic when we will be able to travel in other universes and other planets and live longer, because the rest of the areas will be developed faster
Hmm.
because the transactions happens faster, and the tokenization bringing that opportunity to everyone.
Maybe in the long future, we're gonna come to an end where there won't be a need for a transaction, or there's gonna be another ways how to settle things without money. But
Probably, but currently this is the most um, how to say, there is the most effective ways how the people interacting with each other,
Mhm.
and money explaining this. So I'm not sure that this will go on somewhere in the next 50, 100 years.
Mhm.
Probably they will change a little bit how it's already changing. But yeah, but
But it's a very good mission. Like if you think from a perspective that you want to live longer, you want to experience all of this stuff, and then what I can do to move to bring this forward with me. I need to fasten up. I need to fasten up
mhm.
things. So if we remove these intermediaries from the process, and then the whole economy moves faster, this means that there's more opportunities for growth. Hopefully, this growth goes into to go into space and not to go into war. But I see your point. And if you think about the Mars colony and all this stuff, how can it be helpful on Mars? That would be a very interesting answer to get from you, maybe somewhere in the next episode.
Yeah,
Mm,
probably.
it was very
Probably.
nice
I
to
will
have a
think
talk
about
with
it.
you.
I will think about it. Thank you so much for the invitation again, and it was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you
Yeah,
so
it
much.
was a pleasure as well to learn more about tokenization, and you opened a whole new world for me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. See you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Fantastic. I hope you enjoyed it. So the short recap of the episode. Thing number one, that tokenization is important because it's removing intermediaries from the whole process of moving and selling assets, whatever it takes. Is it selling properties, real estate, companies? It can be applied to anything. Second, real estate is probably the best and the most actionable niche of that is going to be tokenized just because it's very convenient and it's very simple and it allows you to generate interest on the tokenized property. Third thing, Wyoming is the pioneer in introducing new standards. So watch the new trend. Wyoming was the first state that introduced the LLC, and now Wyoming was the first state that introduced DAO LLC. Now we have Florida and Delaware that also started accepting, and they have the legal regulation for DAO LLCs. This is going to be the future. Take a look and read more about this topic when you have more time, because it will allow you to understand how this whole thing is going to work in the future. Basically, they just take we don't change anything. We don't change the system. We're just creating a new branch. We're creating version 2 and we're integrating this version 2 with version 1 with the older system that there was. So now we have the tokenized assets. So let's say you have a house that you sell and you tokenize it for 100 tokens, and then it will treat it like 100 shares of this house. So whenever you transfer 50 tokens from your house to your wife and she owns half of the property, from a legal perspective to look like that she really owns the half of the house, and it doesn't matter how it happened. with lawyers, with auditors, with all of these intermediaries in the normal system, or did it happen everything on the blockchain when you just sent her like 50 tokens and that's it? This is everything that you need. So if you enjoyed the episode, please drop a like under this video right now and subscribe to the channel, because there's going to be more interesting stuff coming about Web3 business development and overall how the blockchain can shape the future and bring us to the better future, whether it's Mars, or these spaceships where whole society, humanity, we don't think about tokenization because this is a normal way of doing business. We don't have all these intermediaries. The whole economy is moving, and we don't even think about the economy because everybody is living by their best self and by the best standards. I hope this is the future that where we're all going, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.